My girlfriend said, "I'm not introducing you to my new coworkers. They think I'm single and it's good for networking." I said, "Professional boundaries matter." Then I showed up at her office holiday party as a plus one of her married coworker. When I introduced myself as her boyfriend to her entire department. Original post. I, 29 male, am a diesel mechanic. I work on fleet trucks for a regional logistics company. My hands are permanently stained with grease. I own exactly 2 dress shirts, and I will never in my life use the word synergy in a sentence. I say this because it matters for context. My girlfriend, now ex, started a new job about 5 months ago at a mid-sized marketing agency. She'd been in marketing for a few years, but this was her big break. Better title, better salary, culture-forward environment, her words. She was genuinely excited, and I was genuinely happy for her. Took her out to celebrate, bought her a new leather portfolio she'd been eyeing, the whole deal. Things were fine for the first couple months. She'd come home and talk about her team, the projects, the office happy hours. I'd listen, ask questions, be supportive. Normal relationship stuff. Then around month 3, I started noticing something. She never mentioned me at work. Like ever. I wasn't in any of her stories. When she talked about her weekends, it was always, "I went to this restaurant," or "I watched this movie," never "we." At first I figured she was just keeping things professional. Some people don't talk about their personal lives at work. I respected that. But then she started dodging plans that would put me anywhere near her coworkers. Her team went to a rooftop bar one Friday. I offered to meet up after. She said it was a team thing. Her department had a casual cookout at her boss's place. Partners were invited. She told me she didn't want to overwhelm people with introductions this early. That was at month 3. At month 5, she still hadn't mentioned my existence to a single person she worked with. I finally brought it up one night. We were on the couch. She was scrolling through her work Slack on her laptop, and I said, "Hey, your holiday party is coming up, right? Am I going with you?" She closed the laptop, slowly, which is never a good sign. "So, I need to talk to you about that," she said. She told me her new coworkers thought she was single. Not because anyone asked, but because she'd never corrected the assumption. She said it started accidentally, but then became strategic. She said being perceived as single made her more approachable for networking, that people were more willing to invite her to things, include her in after-hours events, and that it was better for her career trajectory. I asked, "So your career trajectory requires me not to exist?" She said, "Don't make it weird. It's just how corporate culture works. People relate to you differently when they think you're available. It opens doors." I said, "What kind of doors exactly?" She rolled her eyes. "Networking doors. Professional ones. Not everything is about what you're thinking." I told her, calmly, that I understood professional boundaries, but that there's a difference between keeping your personal life private and actively pretending your boyfriend of 2.5 years doesn't exist. She said I was being insecure. I said, "Professional boundaries matter. But you're not setting a boundary. You're erasing me." She said, "You're being dramatic. It's not that deep." I dropped it, not because I agreed, because I needed to think. Over the next week, I paid closer attention. I noticed she'd taken down every photo of us on her Instagram. Not deleted, archived. Her profile looked like a curated single-girl mood board. Brunch with friends, solo beach shots, aesthetic coffee pics. I scrolled back 3 months, and there wasn't a trace of me. I checked her LinkedIn. Under her new job, her About section had been rewritten. She'd listed interests including exploring the city and connecting with like-minded professionals. She'd also started posting these mini thought leadership essays that got a suspicious amount of engagement from male colleagues. Lots of "love this take," and "we should grab coffee and discuss this further" comments from guys at her company. I didn't say anything. I just filed it away. Then I got lucky. Or unlucky, depending on how you look at it. A buddy of mine from my rec league basketball team. We'd been playing together for years. Mentioned his wife had just started at a marketing agency. Same one, different department, but same company. I asked him a few casual questions, and he confirmed what I'd suspected. Partners were absolutely welcome at the holiday party. It was a +1 event. He said his wife was taking him. So I asked him, "Would your wife be cool if I tagged along as your +1 instead of my girlfriend's?" He looked confused. I gave him the short version. His exact response, "Bro, that's messed up. Yeah, you're coming with us." Update 1. The party was on a Saturday night at a rented event space. Open bar, catered, DJ, the company went all out. My girlfriend told me she was going with her team and would be home late. Didn't even bother making up an excuse for why I wasn't invited. At this point, she fully believed I'd accepted the arrangement. I put on one of my 2 dress shirts, the navy one, bought a decent pair of slacks from Target that afternoon, and got a haircut. My buddy picked me up at 7. His wife was in the passenger seat, already briefed on the situation. She turned around and said, "I've seen your girlfriend around the office. This is going to be so good." We walked in together. It was a nice setup, string lights, cocktail tables, a photo booth in the corner. I grabbed a drink and scanned the room. Took about 90 seconds to spot her. She was at a high-top table with 4 coworkers, 3 guys and 1 woman, laughing, drink in hand, looking like she was having the time of her life. She did not see me. My buddy's wife introduced me to a few people from her department. Normal small talk. "What do you do?" "Diesel mechanic." "Oh, cool, my uncle does that." Regular party stuff. I was polite, relaxed, not trying to cause a scene. It happened naturally. My buddy's wife was talking to a woman from my girlfriend's department. I'd later find out this was her direct supervisor's assistant, and she said, "Oh, have you met my husband's friend? He's actually dating someone here." The woman looked at me. "Oh, really? Who?" And my buddy's wife, bless this woman, pointed across the room and said, The woman's face went through about 4 stages. Confusion, recognition, processing, and then a slow, wide-eyed, "Wait, she has a boyfriend?" I said 2.5 years. The woman said, she told us she was single. Like explicitly. We asked at her welcome lunch. I took a sip of my drink and said, "Yeah, I've been told it's a networking strategy." That woman told 2 people. Those 2 people told 2 more. Within maybe 20 minutes, a quiet ripple had moved through half the room. Nobody was making a scene. It was more like a game of telephone happening in real time over cocktails. I was standing near the bar when one of the guys from her table came up to me. He introduced himself, said he worked on her team, and said, with zero subtlety, "So, you're really her boyfriend?" "Yeah." He looked uncomfortable. She told me she was single. A few times. Actually, I know. I asked her out last month. She said yes, but then canceled. "Cool," I said. And I genuinely meant it neutrally, because what else do you say to that? He walked away looking like he'd swallowed a lemon. Then she saw me. I was talking to my buddy near the photo booth when I heard my name, my actual name, yelled across the room. She was standing about 30 feet away, drink frozen midway to her mouth, face completely white. She walked over. Fast. "What are you doing here?" she hissed. "I'm a +1, I said. "My buddy's wife works here. You know, in your building? Small world. You need to leave. Right now. I'm having a good time, actually. Your coworkers are really nice. Very welcoming. A few of them seem surprised to meet me, though. Can't imagine why." She grabbed my arm and pulled me toward the hallway. My buddy started to follow, but I waved him off. In the hallway, she was shaking. Not from sadness, from rage. "Do you have any idea what you've done?" she said. "Introduce myself to your colleagues?" "Yeah, guilty. They all know now. Everyone. Do you understand how this looks for me? How does it look? Like I'm a liar." I paused. Let that hang in the air. "Yeah," I said. "I guess it does." She told me I'd sabotaged her career and that this was borderline psychotic behavior. I told her I showed up at a party, talked to people, and told the truth. If the truth sabotages your career, the problem isn't the truth. She went back inside. I stayed for another hour. Danced to 2 songs. Had a really good conversation with a project manager about truck engines. Ate 3 sliders. My buddy's wife took a photo of me at the photo booth holding a prop mustache with the biggest grin on my face. That photo is currently my phone wallpaper. My girlfriend didn't come home that night. She stayed at a friend's place. The next morning, I woke up to a text from her that said, "We need to talk. But just so you know, what you did was unforgivable." I texted back, "What I did was show up. What you did was make me disappear. We can talk whenever you're ready, but I'm not apologizing." Update 2. 3 days after the party. She came back to the apartment Monday evening. I figured she'd been stewing all day at work and was ready to unload. I was right. She sat down at the kitchen table and said, "My boss pulled me aside today." I waited. Apparently someone told him that I'd been telling people I was. She air quoted the whole thing. I said, "And what did you tell him?" I told him it was a personal matter and it was about the pattern of deception. He said trust is the foundation of client-facing